walk into a room and there's this
Unspoken energy.
yeah, like everyone knows the rules of the game except you.
It's like everyone got the memo except us.
Yeah.
Right? It's that power dynamic thing. Always there.
Exactly. And today, we are diving deep into that.
Yeah, we're trying to crack the code on power dynamics.
Using this,
This beast of a book.
Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power.
Yeah, the 48 Laws of Power.
But, before we get started, let's just say, this isn't about becoming,
Machiavelli.
right. This is about self-awareness.
It's more like reading an X-ray of history. Greene gives you the cheat codes, not to manipulate people, but to just
Understand the game.
understand why people do what they do.
Yeah, why people do what they do when power's involved.
Totally.
Okay, so law number 1,
Hit me.
never outshine the master.
Ah.
And this one, I feel this one, especially in the workplace.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
ever seen this happen? Where someone tries too hard to...
Just tries to impress the boss.
Yes, and it just blows up in their face.
Oh, classic blunder. And it all comes down to security. People in power, they crave that feeling of security. You threaten that, even by accident.
Even if you don't mean to.
Even a little bit. It triggers this, instant defense mode. Look at Louis XIV,
Oh,
right?
here we go.
The Sun King. He's got this finance minister, Nicolas Fouquet, brilliant guy. But Fouquet throws this crazy lavish party.
Showing off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Over-the-top extravagance. And Louis sees this as a direct challenge.
Who's really in charge here?
Exactly. So what does he do? Gets rid of Fouquet, replaces him with Colbert.
Who's Colbert?
Competent guy, but way less flashy. The takeaway, even being really good at your job can backfire if you're not careful about how it's perceived.
So don't hide your skills, just...
Don't outshine.
Yeah, make the boss look good.
100%. Make them feel respected. When someone asks for your advice, genuinely values your input.
Makes you feel good.
Exactly. You're contributing to their success, not threatening it.
Okay, law number 2. Here we go. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies.
Ooh, spicy.
Right. This is a tough one to swallow.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
But it's about understanding.
Human nature, right. People are complicated. This law, it's not about being heartless, it's about being realistic. Especially when power's on the line.
Give me an example, because I...
Okay, how about a Byzantine emperor, Michael III?
Okay.
He puts all his trust in his boy, Basilius, best buds, promotes him, gives him all this responsibility.
Big mistake.
Huge. Basilius, driven by his own ambition, he ends up overthrowing Michael, takes the throne for himself.
Brutal. So what? We just be suspicious of everyone then?
Yeah.
Even our friends. Is that what he's saying?
Not saying that. Don't go building walls around yourself. It's about being aware. Not all friends are created equal, especially when ambition's involved.
So it's not about, cutting everyone off. It's about being smart, being strategic.
Exactly. Calculated risks, not blind faith. And here's the kicker. Greene actually says sometimes former enemies
Former enemies.
can make for better allies.
Whoa. How does that work?
Think about it. Someone who used to be your enemy, they choose to side with you now. They've got something to prove.
They can't take it for granted.
Exactly. They've already gone through a conflict, came out the other side.
So the trust is even stronger, in a way.
Right. Earned it the hard way. Now, don't get me wrong. Not saying go befriend your worst enemy tomorrow. But it makes you think. Right.
Strategic.
100%. And maybe, just maybe, a little less trusting.
Okay. So we've talked about not outshining, about being careful who you trust, even when they're friends. But what about this whole idea of, how people see you?
Now we're getting to the good stuff. Perception management.
Is that what it's called?
That's the name of the game. It's not about being fake. It's about being aware of how you're presenting yourself. Controlling the narrative, so to speak.
Because like they say, perception is...
reality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we do this? What's law number 3?
Conceal your intentions.
Ooh. Mysterious.
Right. It's like, think about a movie. If you know the ending, is it as good?
No.
Same principle applies here. Keep them guessing. Keep them on their toes.
Maintain that air of mystery.
Exactly. A little strategic ambiguity goes a long way. Look at Bismarck.
Oh, Otto von Bismarck.
The OG master strategist. Unified Germany. This guy knew how to play the game. He'd often act like he supported something.
Even if he didn't?
Especially if he didn't. Used it to gain power, outmaneuver his opponents.
Wow. That's the next level. Makes you wonder what goes on behind closed doors in politics, even today.
Oh, I guarantee you. Same tactics. different century. It's all about perception.
It's like a giant game of chess.
Exactly.
So we've got don't outshine, don't trust too easily, hide your intentions. What else is in this playbook for managing perceptions?
Law 23. Concentrate your forces. It's all about focus.
Oh, I like this one already.
Mhm.
It's so easy to feel scattered, Especially these days, we're all pulled in so many
A
directions.
million things going on, and that's when you lose your impact. Pick your battles. Focus your energy.
So how does this work in terms of power? Give me an example.
Rothschild family, the bankers, they didn't just have money, they knew how to use it. Concentrated their wealth, built this insane network of influence.
Wow. That's power in action.
Yeah.
We don't have to be a Rothschild, right? This applies to everyday life, too.
Absolutely. Whether you're leading a team, building a business, or even just working on a personal project, focus is key.
Love that. So concealing our intentions, concentrating our forces, seems like psychology is just as important as any of these power moves.
Well, 100%. That's where the real magic happens.
This is where things get really interesting.
The power of perception and timing. Buckle up, because we're about to dive into the deep end of persuasion and influence.
I am here for it. Hit me with it. What's next?
Law 27. Play on people's fantasies. It's about tapping into desires.
We all have them.
Everyone's got them. And those desires, those fantasies, they can be powerful motivators. It reminds me of that story about, remember that alchemist from Venice? Bragadino promised everyone he could turn lead into gold. Oh, people bought it hook, line, and sinker. They want to believe it so badly.
They were desperate, so he played them.
He played on their fantasies, their desperation, gave them hope, even if it was an illusion.
And it's scary how easily we can be manipulated like that, especially today. Like, think about social media.
Constant information overload. It's hard to know what's real, what's not.
So we have to be, extra careful.
Critical thinking is key. Question everything. Do your research. Don't just take things at face value.
Don't believe everything you see on the internet, kids.
Exactly. Now, playing on people's fantasies, it's not always a bad thing.
Yep.
Take marketing, for example.
Okay.
Good marketing. It connects with you on an emotional level. It taps into your desires, your aspirations.
Yeah. Makes you feel something?
Exactly. It's not just about the product, it's about the feeling the product gives you.
So it's about understanding what makes people tick.
Psychology 101. Figure out what people want, then give it to them. Or at least the illusion of it.
Okay, so before we move on to our final law, any other insights on playing on people's fantasies that we should keep in mind?
Self-awareness is huge here. The more aware you are of your own vulnerabilities, the harder it is for someone to play you.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Because we all have our weaknesses.
We're all human.
Okay, so law number 47, never appear too perfect. And in the age of Instagram, this one feels like impossible.
Right. Everyone's trying to curate this perfect image.
But it can backfire.
Yeah.
Because when you seem too perfect,
People get jealous, resentful.
and then they want to take you down.
This law, it's not about downplaying your achievements. It's about staying relatable.
Being humble?
Think about those celebrities, the ones who are crazy talented but also seem down to earth. They've figured out the balance.
So how do we do that? How do we own our success without, becoming that person everyone secretly hates?
It's a delicate dance. Celebrate your wins, but don't rub them in people's faces. Acknowledge your privilege. And most importantly, be kind.
Kindness goes a long way.
Further than you think.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. We've decoded 4 of the 48 laws of power. And it's a lot to process. But at the end of the day, what's the takeaway?
The world of power dynamics, it's complex. It can be ruthless. But understanding the rules of the game, that's how you level up.
It's not about becoming someone you're not. It's about navigating these dynamics with awareness.
Exactly. Knowledge is power.
Love that. Well, that's it for this deep dive into the 48 laws of power. We hope you learned something new today, or at least started to see the world through a different lens.
And remember, these are just a few of the 48 laws. There's a whole lot more to explore.
So keep that curiosity alive, keep questioning, keep learning, and most importantly, keep those minds sharp.
We'll see you next time.